Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a review of Doctor Who Missy, issue 2. You've got the Doctor Who comics sort of thing, or BBC Doctor Who comics in this bubble, in this yellow bubble for some reason. I guess maybe because Missy, the word Missy is scribbled over that on the top. You've got Missy there, ironically in front of a very purple background, which I think is a bit odd personally, because, you know, I think it's a little bit much in terms of the colour purple for me. Although the Cyberman head and the fishbowl sort of skull and kiss mark on their forehead is very, very striking, and yeah, very a great sort of image of Missy, and as I say, is very haunting. And the last time I watched Time of the Doctor with someone, they made the valid point of like, wait, is handles like actually organic under there? Because aren't they supposed to be like of an organic thing underneath and that? And I was like, oh yeah. I mean, I'd hope the Doctor would have, the one that he bought wasn't like that, because that is very scary and unnerving. But yeah, you've got Titan Comics there, the barcode, issue 2 there, some names, and then on the back you've got a bunch of quotes from a bunch of different outlets about the issue and about how great it is. Thing about the Titan Comics, the tablet downloady digital version, even. And then you've got the next issue and the main cover for it, I think, as opposed to the variant covers. You've got the variant covers for this issue, so cover B and cover C. I would have really liked cover C. That would have been cool to get. A advertisement for the graphic novel of the Jodie Whittaker 10th Doctor fighting Sea Devils sort of thing. I think that's what that's for. Advertisements for all the 12th Doctor graphic novels and a 3rd Doctor graphic novel. Time Lord Victorious graphic novel advertisement. Previously sort of bit there, as well as a bio on Missy, the Master, the 12th Doctor, the 3rd Doctor and the TARDIS. You've also got the Titan Comics website, Twitter and Facebook. Now on this page you've got the writer, the artist, the colourist, and then some other people as well, and then we get into the main comic. I like that it's got a bit of 12 and Missy, because in my head canon, this is sort of somewhere between you know, like, I don't know, like Eaters of Light and World Enough and Time, or around that, near the latter end of series 10 for sure. Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert for a little bit later, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the previous review or issues review that that River Song was held in Storm Cage, and there she is. I'll be honest, correct me in the comment section below, please, if River Song as a character has popped up in the Titan Comics before, because I'm not sure if she has, and if so, that's really cool that this is the first for Titan Comics. If not, then it's cool that she popped up here again, I guess. You know, I'm a bit confused as to why she doesn't realise Missy is the Master, as opposed to just... Yeah, I found that a bit odd. I do really like this sort of one where I've only just realised and noticed the lines sort of thing, weirdly enough, because I was so, I guess, hyper-focused on just the speech bubbles. But yeah, like, it's kind of this like really wide shot or panel of like these wires and, you know, the characters moving around the prison and that. They mention a name drop, who is it? The Corsair, I think it is. You know, the Time Lord with the snake eating itself sort of thing on their arm in the Doctor's wife. That's cool because that kind of pops up in, I think, the end of Time Lord Victorious. Oh no, not the end of Time Lord Victorious. The end of the end of the 13th Doctor and 10th Doctor crossover with against the Sea Devils and the Skithra. That comic issue ends, spoiler alert for that, but with the cliffhanger and or to be continued with the Corsair, I'm pretty sure. And that, so I wonder if when this little mini-series of Missy, whether it be 4 or 5 issues long, when that ends, I wonder if the next lot of comics, Titan Comics are going to do are the continue the 13th Doctor stuff. And that, because I'd be really interested to see that, because and especially if the 13th Doctor is just on her own, well, not on her own, but as in like not with the 10th Doctor, because I'm kind of getting a bit sick of that being a thing. Like every time the 13th Doctor appears in Expanded Universe, the 10th Doctor seems to be tagging along, and it's kind of pissing me off and annoying me, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of really interesting dialogue. Honestly, I think if you're a massive fan of the character of the Master, or Missy in particular, this is definitely a comic for you. Like, the interplay / sort of sparring sort of dialogue that they have between each other, Missy and Roger Delgado's Master, is very interesting. And where she is as a character is why I'm kind of leaning towards her being more the sort of latter end of Series 10 Missy, in her timeline. Roger Delgado, I'm not sure as much where he would place. I guess you could place it anywhere in his timeline, maybe sort of after the events of the Demons, for all I know, or like after the Sea Devils, or maybe even after his last appearance in not Planet of the Daleks, Frontier in Space, maybe. I'm not sure really. But yeah, the hair is very sort of like hair. I don't know where I was going with that thought there. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to say about this issue other than, as I say, the interplay and that with both Masters is pretty good. And then you have the little like nice sort of shock reveal of River being there. I'll be honest, I was a bit confused as to whether we're going with that, because I was like, wait, is she now going to be tagging along with them, which I thought was what we were going to be setting up there, but then she kind of just gets left in Stormcage, which I thought was a bit weird, unless, again, maybe they pick her up in a 13th Doctor thing, and then she makes a reference to this, maybe, and is like, wait, you were a mad, kind of quite eccentric person with a lot of ducks on a hat a moment ago, like, this is very strange. And then the Doctor's like, I've never worn a duck hat before, what are you on about? And that, I'm just laughing at the fact that I've just remembered, like, Missy wears, like, a hat with ducks for a lot of this, which is actually quite brilliant. I quite like that hat, I'm not gonna lie. I quite like the costume, honestly. It's, it seems to be like a dark blue sort of version of what she normally wears, which is purple, with like a yellow and blue gloves, and a yellow and blue cravat, or like neck scarf sort of thing. And then, as I say, with the hat with the ducks and the yellow umbrella, it's just completely sort of OTT, over the top, and just mad, that I actually quite like it, I guess, to be honest, again, it is kind of like her version of like a Doctor costume, and her being like taking the piss out of him. And this issue as well goes into that, that sort of takes that whole thing of her being like in Well Done for Time, ooh, I'm Doctor Who, takes that even further, and really makes her just sort of be like, poke holes and poke fun at the ideas, like the flawed concepts that the Doctor has. Yet, then it's like, it's really interesting how they've characterised Missy in this, because she's kind of like making fun of it, but then also at the same time kind of being like, maybe this is how she's kind of, for lack of a better term, compartmentalising his thoughts, and being like, wait, actually these aren't as dumb as I used to think so. Or as I used to think when I was this bearded bloke. and that. And I'm really interested to see where they go with the next issue because of how this issue ends. This issue ends with not so much a shock reveal of a character, but more a shock reveal of where the next issue is going, and it keeps you on your toes for sure. And I like it and respect it for that reason. And I mean, I'll be really interested to see how all these issues stack up when they're all released, and whether or not this was a worthy celebration of 50 years of the Master. I really, really do want to have a retroactive / retrospect video on the whole sort of series, like whether it's 4 or 5 single issue sort of releases. I really, really do want to, as I say, have the opportunity and chance to do like a overview video of the issues to see if it hits the nail on the head of saying happy birthday, happy 50th birthday to the most manic devilish fiend of the Doctor's enemies and arch nemesises, nemesi even, and that, you know. Because I'll be honest, before I finish this review, I've always wanted to do an overview video of some of the, if not, well, not all, but like some of the Titan Comics, Doctor Who Titan Comics sort of issues that I've got, but I've just never done that yet on the video. It's like with the Big Finish audios, I've wanted to do similar things there sometimes when I've got a full set of something, but just never got round to re-listening to them and then doing that, you know. And likewise with the comics, I've never had the sort of opportunity / chance to just read a bunch of them all in one go and then just, as I say, sit down and record an overview video, as dumb as that sounds, because I'm really not that busy. But it's a decent story. I think it's not the best, but again, I think it builds on a decent foundation, and it has a little bit of action and a nice sort of mid issue plot twist or character surprise. Nice surprise, nice interplay between the two masters. Really nice Missy characterization. They've nailed Missy, in my opinion, like down to a T, and that. I actually really enjoy her character here, which is saying something, because as I said in my last review, I never really liked her in the TV show that much up until Series 10. Thanks for watching. Please do comment, rate, and subscribe.